I always tell people that I saved my mother's marriage even before I was born.
Paul.
He called me in the sitting room and he said, Paul, what I want you to remember is that you are an orphan. So while you go and fill those forms, please go and fill forms for you to join colleges. So you're going to make choices for college, but not HAC. I could have been a teacher when I was 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
My tutor, he had a friend who had a school in Kampala. He said he's looking for young, energetic teachers. And my tutor, he knew I was really very good and he picked me. And I had been to Kampala, like a one-off. I hadn't stayed in Kampala. And now I have an opportunity to go to Kampala to teach.
Wow.
Flavia, we took a bus, about 3 of us, and I won't tell you the school. My salary was like pocket change, and it never came on time.
Oh, wow.
In fact,
oh, dear.
Most of the people, we used to say you need to kill an uncle or an auntie for you to get paid.
I don't even know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, but...
Yeah, but those exams are tough.
Very tough.
Yeah, in my opinion. Many people sit for them. I sat, I think, the pass mark for that aptitude test. I don't know if it has moved, but yeah, I think about 50. When I sat, I got 47. Yes. Of course, I think I paid about 100,000. That 100,000 was like my kidneys and my lungs put together. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a lot of money. In 2020, I had the opportunity to go work in Gulu as a head teacher. The institution I work with has a school there. And I got an opportunity to sit on the table to be one of the people that are interviewing teachers. And I remember seeing this particular teacher. He walked in and I sort of saw myself in him. He was not confident. They asked him very simple questions, tell us who you are. And he could not answer. In fact, the person leading the interview had to pause and give him some time to catch his breath. So this teacher went out and he was given time. When he came back, he could not still answer questions confidently until they asked him, they gave him chalk, duster, and they said, please give us a demo lesson. And he came out live.
He taught very well.
And I really think that teachers are good at what they are doing as teachers. We restrict teachers to do things in a particular way. But if I ask you a question, how can you be creative? Let teachers speak to teachers.
You can say that again.
We need to make sure that the people that are telling teachers what should be done are teachers. People who are not detached from the classroom.
It's not a secret that too many teachers feel silenced, they feel micromanaged, and they feel mistrusted. They feel like they have no voice and they're not allowed to think independently. Question is, where does this come from? Is it the teachers? Is it the school leaders? Is it a system that has allowed for this to happen? What exactly is the problem and where does this stem from? On this episode of the Teacher Podcast, we're going to be exploring what this is, where does it come from, and how can we change it? What would schools that have teachers that are trusted look like? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Teacher Podcast, a space where we get to amplify the voices, the journeys, and the ideas of the educators who are shaping learning on a daily basis. The purpose of this space is to inspire, to motivate, and to equip teachers to thrive and not just to survive. I'm Teacher Flavia, your host, and I am a teacher by profession. I'm a teacher trainer, and I'm very passionate about the teaching profession. Today on set, we're joined by someone amazing, and allow me pull up his profile. And this person is an experienced educator. He is a teacher by profession. He's a school leader, and he's currently the head of primary Watoto schools. He's been in education for over 17 years. He started out as a teacher of mathematics and has since grown to head teacher and now head of schools, like I mentioned. He's a mentor, he's a trainer, and he's supporting educators across different contexts. This person is deeply passionate about teacher autonomy and believes in teachers earning the respect and profession they deserve. This is grounded in the idea that great education starts with great teachers. He is also the founder of Pedagogy Uganda, and you're going to hear a lot more about pedagogy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Paul Naigo. Paul, it's so good to have you. It's so good to have you on set today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for allowing to join us today on this amazing conversation. And for everyone that I host, I want to start by having them take us back. Before we talk about teacher autonomy that we're going to talk about today, how does Paul get into the classroom? What was your journey to the classroom? And do not mind, you can take us back as far back as you want. How did you get into the classroom?
Thank you, Flavia, for having me here. It's a pleasure. And I like telling my story way far back, even before I was born.
Please, before you were born?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Please, take us on a journey.
I always tell people that I saved my mother's marriage even before I was born.
Paul. Okay.
I'm not kidding you.
Okay. Please give us more of that. It sounds very juicy.
All right. So the story goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she got married at a young age. I am an old person, so you can imagine my mom. She got married when she was a teenager. Their parents saw someone rich and said they might be a good husband to my mother. And so she got married off there, and it didn't work.
Okay.
And she left. Ran away from her husband's place, and she couldn't go back home because the gentleman had paid so many cows to my would-be grandparents. And she ran off to stay with her sister, where she
ran away from her
first marriage. So I saved my mother's second marriage.
So when she ran off, she got another.
So she found out a man who was also married and was looking to get a boy child. He had a wife. I think in my language, in English, she would be like my older mother. Yes. She had given birth to girls, and my father was looking for...
In English, your older mother?
Yes.
In your language?
Yes, like
okay.
Watoto na Apolon. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So in English, it would be your stepmother?
Yes.
Okay. But older, but it's
like
all right.
Direct translation.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so my mom, she met up with my dad, and when they got married, she got pregnant and she gave birth to a bouncing baby girl. Yes.
No way.
And my dad was disappointed.
No way.
Yeah, but he was patient, so they raised this little girl, and after some time, my mom, she got pregnant again, and they went to hospital, and she gave birth.
And this time?
To a bouncing baby girl.
No way.
Yes.
Another girl?
Yes.
Oh my God, Paul. When do you come?
So my dad, she got ready to get rid of my mom. And
This is a true story, Paul, right?
I'm not joking.
It sounds like you're making it up.
No, I am not.
For real.
I tell it everywhere I go because I really think I am a very special person.
Okay, you are special.
Yeah. So my dad got ready, he was ready to get rid of my mom. And the elder said, no, you can't do it now. Let her stay, raise the little girl. When she's grown enough, then you can get rid of her. Because at that time, to have a boy child was really something very special that those people held with, high esteem.
Respect, yeah.
Exactly. So in the process, the sister that I follow, she grew up, and the time came that had been set for my mom to leave, and a village meeting, elders came, they sat and said, it's time. We hope that you would give us baby boys, but you have so far given us 2 baby girls. And we don't think there is a chance that you could give us a baby boy. So, yeah. So they, got her luggage, put everything and said, it's time, please go. Yeah. And she was going. While she was going, she whispered to an elderly lady and said,
I'm pregnant. I am pregnant. My goodness.
So that changed the story. And
so they asked her to stay?
They said, you cannot chase away a lady pregnant. When she's expecting. And that's how my mom stayed in that marriage.
And guess what?
And when she went to hospital, she gave birth to a baby boy and named the boy Paul Naigo.
What does Naigo mean? Do you know?
Not exactly. Okay. That's a story for another day.
That's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. So that's how Paul came to be.
Yes.
Now, how does Paul proceed through school and then finally end up as a teacher? The longer waited son.
Let's leave out so many things and move straight to my dad. He passed on. I got another dad. Someone thought I was brilliant and I needed an opportunity to go to school. So I got another dad. He took care of me, paid my fees. And when I got to senior 4, when we're about to fill forms that allow you to join, make choices to join either high school or whatever, he called me in the sitting room and he said, Paul, what I want you to remember is that you are an orphan. So while you go and fill those forms, please go and fill forms for you to join colleges. So you're going to make choices for college, but not HAC. And no career guidance, no nothing. I just feel those things. And yeah.
You didn't know what you were doing, literally.
I knew that if I filled college, I knew that I was going to become a teacher.
So what colleges did you fill?
I filled in St. Aloysius Kwa PTC. It's exactly where I went. I filled in Soroti Kwa PTC. I filled in Kavwangasi. I don't remember. They were supposed to be 4.
You just filled in PTCs?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a requirement, though, that you have to fill in even the secondary schools, which I did, but I knew that it was... It was formality. And that's why I always reflect, teachers all the time, or just about any other random person, they always ask the children, young children, students, what do you want to be when you grow up? When I reflect that story, I want to challenge, if I have an opportunity, on what basis do you want this child or this student to answer that question? Is it on the promise of their intellect and academic abilities that they can choose anything that they want to be? Or is it on a basis of faith? Or is it on a basis of their passions, their desires, the things they like. Because to answer that question in Uganda, when you're young, you're excited. You want to be this, you want to be that. But when you grow up, you get to senior 1, you get to senior 2, then you begin to see what's the possibility that this could actually happen. Because you don't just be anything you want. You need resources, you need to pay school fees for the rest of high school, you need to go to university. So even as we answer the question of what do you want to be when you grow up, there are factors to be considered. So yeah, so for me, that's how I became a teacher.
That's how you end up in that college.
Yeah.
For a grade 5.
Yes. No. Grade 3. Grade 3 certificate.
Oh, okay. Now, please just take us through the journey. How then do you progress? So you did the grade 3, and that was...
All right. So I know that things have changed right now.
Yes.
But when the time I became a teacher, the qualifications or the requirements were you studied, finished the primary school cycle,
yes,
and then moved on to complete the first half of secondary, which is the O-level. Once you finish O-level, you have to have passed mathematics and English, and then I think a credit or something from the rest of the other subjects. You went to a primary teacher's college, you studied for 2 years, and boom, you become a teacher.
So immediately you started to teach.
You can imagine how old I was, because I am leaving
senior 4.
Senior 4.
Yes.
And I am heading straight to college. There is not a lot of time between when senior 4 results are released and the time you join college. It's about 3 months or so. And so I think I could have been a class or 2 late in my chronological age. So yeah, I could have been a teacher when I was 20 years old.
Oh, wow. So at what point, so you teach for a period of time and then you decide to go back, or that's a story for another time?
So I finished college, and I took this whole thing with a good heart, because my dad, he wants the best for me, but that's what he could afford, and he was helping other children
as well.
So in fact, in our home, we have so many teachers, because my dad also has a background of teaching. So I finished, and I wouldn't say I was, top-notch student. I was, there. And so my tutor, he had a friend who had a school in Kampala. He said he's looking for young, energetic teachers. And my tutor, he knew I was really very good, and he picked me. And I had been to Kampala, like a one-off. I hadn't stayed in Kampala, and now I have an opportunity to go to Kampala to teach.
Wow.
Flavia, we took a bus, about 3 of us, and I won't tell you the school.
Okay.
Because the experience was, it was a good one. So it was a beginning school.
Yeah.
And I want to salute all the teachers that complete college and go and teach in beginning schools. I'll tell you, Flavia, the schools that start small in Uganda, they are not built by brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Those schools are built by sweat, blood, and, teachers laying their lives to build those schools. I started teaching. My salary was like pocket change, and it never came on time.
Oh, wow.
In fact, most of the people, we used to say you need to kill an uncle or an auntie for you to get paid.
I don't even know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, but...
Yeah, but like that money just didn't come. You needed to...
So when you would create a story...
You needed to make a case for that money to come.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So kill a grandmom, get paid salary that you're waiting 3 months in arrears,
So
and
how would you
stuff
survive?
like that.
Like food, clothes. Anyway, please.
Yeah. So I taught in that school for 2 terms, and I couldn't take it any further.
Yeah.
So I left. I had a brother who was at UCU. I stayed with him for some time. Then I went back to Kumi and started teaching from there. A very good school, slightly fair pay from what I was getting in Kampala, until I started producing results, and the people that saw that I was doing a good job, they picked me and said, this young man needs to go back to Kampala, and they connected me to another fair school, so I came back.
Wow. It was ping pong, here, there. This time when you came back, you stayed.
Yeah. So when I came back, I stayed. I taught in a school, a fairly good school. But like I said, there are so many teachers who are giving of their lives to make sure that the schools, even the big schools today that you see that they are very big, and you hear that their story that we started small, it was just one classroom. If you went deep to find the stories of the teachers that worked at that time, you will be surprised. So yeah, so when I came back, I worked for 1 year, and I happened to join Watoto Church. I used to go to Watoto Church, and there was a cell. So I am a highly ambitious person. I'm very ambitious, but not competitive. My dad that I am talking to you about was actually a principal education officer. So when I completed college, all my friends knew that Paul has a job. But when I looked at the experience of the teachers in government schools, I think they are doing okay. They are hardworking. They are respectable people. It's just that I didn't like that sort of environment. I needed something different. So when I came to Kampala, even the school that I was working on was good, but I made a list of 10 schools. I wrote them down that I think I should work for, that environment that challenges me. So I wrote it down, and I started to challenge myself to grow. Remember, I'm trying to fit into the city. I don't know the language that is spoken in the city. I don't know places. I don't have so many friends, but I am just me, and I'm looking for an environment that challenges me to grow, so that I can grow myself to a level where I can influence other people. One time so in Watoto, there are small groups that they call cells. People meet during the week to pray and fellowship together. An advert came, and my cell leader said I could apply. Asked me if I was interested. Of course I was. And Watoto was not among the 10.
Oh, it was not among that were listed.
Yes, it was not among them. But I'll tell you, when I joined Watoto, I settled. I just didn't know about it. It should have been in the list of the top 10 schools in the city. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that story, to that journey. I'm very curious about many, a couple of few other things, follow-up questions. At this time, you were a grade 3 teacher. How then do you upgrade to grade 5, then degree, then all the others? At what point is that within? At what point do you choose to say, you know what, I have found a place I want to progress in my career?
Okay. So one of the reasons why I left the village to come to Kampala is that I was looking for an opportunity for me to study. And this time I needed to study in institutions that everybody knows.
Not ones that you mentioned and who are like, Which
because
is that?
yeah, I keep telling people that the schools that I went are really community schools that the good people of this country say we need a school on this village, and we are the ones to start.
You build the schools.
Yes. So I don't know, for no apparent reason. I think it's just good that everybody goes to Makerere, or you can't have those opportunities when you're there. So I'd heard about mature entry. I have not studied senior 5 and senior 6, but I knew about mature entry while working in Watoto. Of course, there are many people that I meet. One of the staff members, a lady, her husband works there in Makerere, and he told me that you can do mature entry exams. No, before mature entry exams, I attempted to go and study grade 5 at Chambogo, got an application, admission, started studying, but I couldn't pay fees because I am my mother's son. And I have responsibilities. I failed, dropped out. So I did not complete grade 5. But I still had that dream in my heart that at least a degree. So I applied for mature entry. Those exams are tough.
Very tough.
Yeah, in my opinion. Many people sit for them. I sat, I think, the pass mark for that aptitude test. I don't know if it has moved, but I think about 50. When I sat, I got 47. Yes. Of course, I think I paid about 100,000. That 100,000 was like my kidneys and my lungs put together. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a lot of money. But my friend, he said, you are this close. You can actually pass. So the following year, he encouraged me to go apply. I had applied the year before on a private sponsorship, but this time I went back, sat those exams. But in my application, I wrote that I needed sponsorship, and I passed.
You got?
Yes.
Yay! Yay!
So I passed those papers, and that's how I ended up pursuing my first degree in community psychology.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That's very inspiring, actually. I love the fact that you failed and you still went
You
back.
love the fact that I failed.
No. No, the fact that you went back is the one that I love, not the fact that you failed.
Okay.
But thank you so much for sharing your story, Paul. I think it's very inspiring to whoever was hoping that, some of these things come easy.
No,
Just
don't.
hearing to you, it shows that sometimes you might fail, but then you can pick yourself up and still try again. So thank you so much. You're now in the teaching profession. I'm just curious, might you have an experience in your early teaching years that shaped who you actually became as a teacher? Any that comes to mind?
I think those could be so many.
Just one. Just one that stands out.
The experience that has shaped the way that I teach.
But in your early years, when you joined the profession, probably something you experienced and you knew that, I may not have wanted to be here, but this is it, and I want to do this for forever.
Yeah.
One.
So, growing up with a very rich childhood, my childhood was very rich, and I enjoyed it.
Rich in terms of experience.
Rich in every way.
In every way.
And I don't think you want us to go back there.
Okay, let's not
because
go back
we need to address. So I think the Lord has humbled me to a level to a level when I am able to appreciate the people that need help. Of course, my mom single-handedly raised me. She raised us up with my other siblings. And there's a time when it was difficult for her to raise these boys and these girls. And there's a teacher who sort of stood in the gap and said, I'm going to support this, mom. That lady encouraged me to study in every way. And when I say encouraged, she talked, she beat, she did everything. And when I go to the classroom, that experience taught me that every child is a different story. Every child that walks into the classroom is a different story. And when I get to support a child to just pick up themselves, to believe in themselves, and to help them to dream, and I have seen so many of those, there is no amount of money that there's no amount of money that can give me that feeling. And so starting to teach as a young teacher, it gave me the proximity to relate with, we call them pupils. I spent most of my time with them, as in class with them. During break time, I am with them. And I love to see them start to love to learn and to study, because school is not an exciting journey for many students because of the setup here in Uganda and probably many African countries. And so for me to be there with these children and help them to just see what the future looks like, I don't think I could do another job.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to do.
Yes.
Awesome. So Paul, you're at a point where, unlike other teachers, your experience has been different. You went into the classroom, you taught, and somehow you have been able to climb the ladders to leading a school and even further. What's your journey been like in terms of evolution from the classroom to heading a school and to where you are right now?
Surprise. I tell people I stumbled into school leadership and administration.
Stumbles.
Never thought I would be, never dreamed of it. I think when I entered the classroom, I told myself I'm going to be the best teacher that I can ever be. And so while I was busy trying to be a good teacher, someone thought that I could support with, responsibilities of how school is run.
That.
I think my leadership journey basically starts from Watoto. Yes. I have loved every single year or a school term that I have spent in Watoto schools. I have been told that I am a good teacher, and I believe it because many people have said that.
Yeah,
and of course my students. And that I did not want to leave the classroom. But Watoto schools helped me to dream. Watoto schools helped me to challenge myself to grow. So I love my work so much. They started giving me responsibilities. And it came a time when one of the school leaders was not throwing a towel, but saying, I think this far I have come. They looked around and they thought that I would fit that position very well. At that time, I was still a grade 3 teacher.
Paul. Wow.
But you wouldn't know.
Wow.
You would not know.
Okay. And you took it on?
Yeah. I was young. I was not highly learned, but I took it on. I approached it from from the perspective of humility and from that attitude of I would like to learn. I threw myself to people that could support me. A few years later, one of them is hosting this show. My support system.
Mr. Naigo.
Yeah, so I was class teacher, subject teacher, class teacher, head of department. I became deputy head teacher, administration. Then I became the head teacher, and now I have the responsibility and privilege to oversee 3 schools, 3 primary schools in Watoto. It's not something that you say with pride, because it comes with a huge responsibility.
I can imagine.
Yes, so sometimes I don't want to mention it.
You don't want to say it. I hear you. And even as you speak, I'm curious, is there an experience that you've had or you had as a teacher that shaped the leader that you are today?
Yeah. First of all, I don't know if this does answer your question. If it doesn't, please ask again.
I will.
Yes. They say that be the leader that you once wanted.
That you want to follow.
No. When you have an opportunity to be a leader, be the leader that you wanted when you are being led. I think it's like people playing football. When you're outside, you think that they should have done this, they should have done that.
Yeah.
So before I was a leader, I really think, and I'm talking about you people because you have been a leader. You've been my leader before.
Yeah.
I really think that there is so many places when you people are misfiring. Yes. I thought
Paul.
I thought that I'm talking about my leaders. They probably get an opportunity to watch this video. But when you're standing there or sitting there and people have titles, people have responsibilities, people have offices, and don't get me wrong, these people do an amazing job.
Yes.
But everybody is a project for improvement.
Okay.
Yes.
So you saw gaps.
So what inspired me to be a leader is every time I see even before, I keep telling teachers that every day you meet a teacher you want to be, and every day you meet a teacher you don't want to be. I met leaders that I did not want to be. And that was my inspiration.
Paul. So you went in determined.
Ask myself a question. Can I do it different? Would I do it better? And so I can't pick exactly what, but it's everything around that. I don't know if it does answer your question.
It actually does make sense.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I'm like, those leaders who are not in this place.
No, they are not here.
Yeah. Anyways, I want us to switch it now to teacher autonomy. We've talked a little bit about Paul and how you have transitioned to where you are. I follow you very much, especially on LinkedIn, and I see your heart for teacher autonomy and how you speak about the teacher. And so I was curious to know, is it an experience that got you passionate about this particular topic? How did you end up just having your eyes on the teacher and them having a voice and them being trusted and them being the best that they could be? How did you end up passionate about this particular topic?
So in 2020, I had the opportunity to go work in Gulu as a head teacher. The institution I work with has a school there. And I got an opportunity to sit on the table to be one of the people that are interviewing teachers. And I remember seeing this particular teacher. He walked in and I sort of saw myself in him. He was not confident. They asked him very simple questions. Tell us who you are. and he could not answer. In fact, the person leading the interview had to pause and give him some time to catch his breath. So this teacher went out and he was given time. When he came back, he could not still answer questions confidently until they asked him, they gave him chalk, duster, and they said, please give us a demo lesson. And he came out live.
He taught very well.
And I really think that teachers are good at what they are doing as teachers until you get them off what they are used to do. And I remember having a burden in my heart that there are many other teachers like that. Young, energetic, brilliant, have passion, they would like to teach, but somebody needs to help them. We need to start a conversation around how do we support a teacher become confident, have a vision, be able to know what do I want to achieve in teaching, what do I want to achieve through or while teaching, how do I want to, that sort of thing. That's where I started, thinking about teacher autonomy. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Paul, for sharing. I mean, you spoke and I was completely touched because I've seen many who are like that.
Yeah.
The practice is good, but they can hardly talk about it.
So that sorry, if I may. So because teachers sometimes don't look like what we expect them to do, that gives many people the audacity to sort of
think they don't know.
Yeah, when you see a teacher walking or when you see you begin to question, like,
if she walks like that, can she be able to deliver?
Exactly. Yes. If they cannot share a message confidently, if they can't dress properly, if teachers, people begin to question teachers. And so we open a door, we open a window where people start to say, this is how you must do things, this is what you must do, this is, and yet teachers are actually very good at their job.
But that now makes me very curious. Why, in your opinion, do you think they turn out that way? Because what is it that gets them to be in that place where they know what they're doing, but they don't look it? Or
I think for starters,
let's take an example.
The history of teaching. First of all, if you say you're a teacher, everybody thinks that you failed in everything else. You came here as a last option. You are not good enough academically. That's why you resorted to teaching. So yeah, it has that history.
Connotation,
okay. Yeah. And so everything starts from there. But you and me know that today is very different. So yeah, partly it's because of that history. But also I think schools have systems, schools have processes. These things are very good and very nice. They help in, professional practice. But these things are sometimes, I think they are too rigid. So much so that they don't allow for creativity for a teacher. And so you are asking about my inspiration. One time I had a deputy academics who was supervising me, and I made a scheme of work. And you know how you make a scheme of work? It has columns. So I just renamed the columns. There's a column that's supposed to be, just naming the columns, I think supposed to be activity column and then methods. For her, she wanted the other way around. And that was a big deal because I couldn't see what difference it makes if you just altered the columns. And this is not a big time. So we find that we restrict teachers to do things in a particular way. But if I ask you a question, how can you be creative if you do not break the law? Like if you don't go against
You don't think
what
outside of
is
the box.
exactly.
It's hard.
It's very difficult. So you can't say be creative. At the same time, you say follow what? Procedure. And so we need to redesign our school processes, the things that we are doing, and allow for room for a teacher to be creative within a particular boundary. Think about how God made the whole world and said you can eat anything that you want, but don't touch this. In a teaching profession, they don't say that. They give you what you go and do, and they tell you to execute it that way. And you have a supervisor who comes to actually check if you have done it the exact way it has been designed. I think that sort of erodes a confidence from a teacher, and it doesn't allow him to be as creative as he would want to be.
So if this were to change, and maybe you've made mention of it a little bit, what would it look like? What would need to be done for them to actually have that voice or space? You've talked about having them probably think outside of the box, but from a school leader, and I'm wondering, what would it actually look like for me to give my staff an opportunity to feel trusted?
For starters, I think we need to allow that. Let teachers speak to teachers.
You can say that again.
We need to make sure that the people that are telling teachers what should be done are teachers. People who are not detached from the classroom. I know you're going to say that.
How do you know?
I know you're going to say that I am, blowing your balloon.
Oh, mine.
But not necessarily yours.
Yeah.
But there are many institutions that have leaders that left the classroom a long time ago. And those are people who have been given the responsibility to supervise the teachers that are teaching today. And so there is a huge gap between what should be happening in the classroom now and what the supervisor knows. And so that brings about a lot of friction. So if we could reduce that gap, I told you I'm a head of school, but you don't be surprised when you find me actually teaching in the classroom. Why am I doing that? Because I am trying to reduce the gap. I've been teaching 17 years.
You still go to the classroom, Paul?
Yes, I do. But that could just be the number of years. But what I am expected to do now, I should be able to know what exactly is happening
in the
classroom, what is relevant, what are the challenges the teacher is facing. And that's another one. The people that are supervising the teachers, do they know the challenges that the teacher is going through? Many times, no.
They don't.
Many times, no.
They are in the office and they haven't illusion.
The reality of the classroom is alien to them. They don't understand. And so for us to help teachers, supervisors, school leaders need to get into the classroom. And when they get there, these days, I think there's a whole lot of talk about instructional leadership. I I can't, I have been so scared to have someone come to my class to supervise. I don't know if you have the same experience, but it starts off from school practice when, of course, school practice, that's understandable. You're learning and you're trying to get to be a good teacher. And most of these tutors or lecturers or professors are helpful. But when someone, has been teaching for 5-6 years and then another person walks into the classroom with an attitude that I have come to fix you, I think that's a challenge. I think we need to start getting into the classrooms and actually be open and say, what can I learn from this teacher? What can I help this teacher to grow in? In many schools, that is not the practice. When a supervisor gets into the classroom, they have come to evaluate how good is this teacher. But that shouldn't be the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Paint a picture. If teachers were to be given the autonomy that they should have, what would our schools or classrooms look like?
It starts,
in your opinion, definitely.
it's it starts from way before the classroom. Let's start with school policies. Okay. Maybe we'll speak for private schools because government schools is a bit difficult. Schools should have teacher to pupil ratio for starters. Okay. When you're making policies, do we bring the teachers on the table? Do they have a seat on the table when where these policies are discussed and rolled out for the implementation for the entire school? I think it has to start from there, because those policies are the ones that guide the practice in the classrooms. So if teachers are engaged, if teachers are given space on the table where these things are discussed, I think classrooms would be very exciting places for students to be in. Yeah.
Okay. So you think it would just start with the policies, just speaking into it, and then everything else would change?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You said so many nice things. I'm like, I'm telling you, how do I even move on from there? Because, I should tell you, I've had tons of teachers feel really frustrated. And it's this, and you can hear them. I am the teacher. I know what I'm doing, but it doesn't look like I actually know what I'm doing because I'm not given room to think. So I hope we can be able to change that. I want us to transition to something. Like I said, I follow you so much, and I have seen you talk about pedagogy. The name itself is very intriguing. When you hear it, you want to know more about it. What is this pedagogy? And so tell us a little bit more about pedagogy. What is pedagogy? Why pedagogy? What does it do? What does it achieve? Please.
So pedagogy, I don't know if I have already told you that I am a teacher advocate.
Yes. No, you hadn't mentioned that.
At the heart of what I do, I would like a teacher to, I would like us to make teaching an interesting profession. I would like us to make teaching a rewarding profession. But we cannot do that if we do not focus on the teacher.
I agree.
We have to start from the teacher. Now, there are people who are already doing good things. when we talk about investing in a teacher, the first thing that everybody runs to is pedagogy.
That's true.
A teacher must understand, pupils, students. A teacher must know how to write schemes of work, how to write lesson plans, how to engage students, how to assess. A teacher must be able to do all these things. And every single workshop, every seminar, anything that you hear about professional development for teachers, all the energy is focused at making sure a teacher is teaching well. But a teacher is a human being. I normally say that a teacher is a walking curriculum. And the environment where a teacher is working is the environment where the students are studying. I think I come with a twist that focuses on a teacher because I know when a teacher is sorted, the children are definitely going to do what? To thrive. So I've had opportunity to look at budgets, school budgets, even nationally, how we appropriate these funds within the education department. How much of those resources are spent to make sure that a teacher, not teaching, a teacher's welfare is taken care of? Back then, when I came from the village to teach in Kampala, there are schools where I could not manage to teach because of my exposure levels, because of my experience, because of so many things. I need, because what I have as who I am as a teacher is going to rub into the students.
Yeah.
Okay. So pedagogy, meanwhile, pedagogy is really from the word pedagogy, but we have to Ugandanize it.
Okay.
I think if we had someone from Kumi and they cannot directly translate pedagogy, which I don't know if you can translate it in your language, but so I decided to call it pedagogy, which really means learning. Yeah. So the focus of pedagogy is to make sure that a teacher is not just equipped in pedagogy, but we ask questions.
The irony, I mean, the fact that it's pedagogy.
Yes.
But so it doesn't focus on only pedagogy.
No.
Okay.
It's learning. It's learning. Pedagogy is learning.
Okay.
Yeah. So we help teachers to define who they are first. Like I told you earlier, why are you a teacher? Okay. I gave you my story, how I started, I go to teachers college and blah, blah, but because now you are there, now what? Okay. So pedagogy focuses on developing the teacher as a person in terms of, are they clear about vision? Are they clear about mission? Are they clear about what they want to achieve? Are they clear about where they are going? Usually, if people cannot answer those questions, there is very little that you can get out of them. Yes. And when people are clear about those things, that's why you can find someone who is teaching and saying, I'm going to be in this deal for just 10 years. But when you look at what they can achieve in 10 years, it's so much. They influence so many students. They achieve a lot. But another teacher can be there 20 years and is just counting the number of years.
Yeah.
And they have not achieved
anything.
Not much in terms of their personal professional development, but also in their career. Yeah. So we support teachers in that area. The other thing that we do is we advocate for teachers' welfare. I told you that we build these schools with our sweat.
Yeah.
But after 20, 15, 30 years, what do we have as teachers? And I think it's very critical that we have these conversations because we have other civil servants that earn way a lot of money than teachers do, but still retire to not a very good life. How much more a teacher? So pedagogy, we would like to bring teachers together and we start asking ourselves a question. You're going to be teaching for this long. Where are you retiring to? What sort of life are you going to have? What are you going to be doing during retirement? If we don't start to speak, if we don't have these conversations as teachers, who is going to? We are going to say government
Etuyambe. Because as we retire, we...
Yeah. So at Edagogy Uganda, we would like to make sure that we are helping a teacher first see themselves from the time they join teaching up to retirement. All right. And in between there, what are they doing and where are they going? So we help them actually to project their career. We help them to think about it. We help them to consider options. It's only teachers who can teach for 30 years. Doing one thing for 30 years, there is nothing wrong with it. But so many people get bored doing one thing for a long time. So when a teacher gets to that place, do they have a place where they can ask questions? I mean, in a school, there is only a teacher, then maybe class teacher, deputy head teacher, and the progression can only take so much. What happens to all these teachers that still have dreams, that still want to achieve all these things that are telling you, when I grow up, I want to...
You want to be all these things.
And so Edagogy Uganda helps teachers to answer those questions about, career. But also we connect parents to teachers. In this country, you can open your phone now. If you want to eat, and you can ask your phone to tell you where you can get what food.
Yeah.
If you need a good teacher right now, do you know where you can go to in your phone and find one?
Maybe not.
Yeah. So Edagogy answers that question. So we have teachers that we have trained, teachers that we have worked with, teachers that have all these qualities that I am telling you. They are confident, they are highly trained. And so I think our platform is being worked on, but this is a place where you are going to run to and you're looking for a homeschooling teacher of a particular subject, a particular grade level, and we connect you to a teacher, either to come to your home or teach lessons online or stuff like that. And all of that is part of our efforts to make sure that the teacher has, enhanced welfare. During COVID, many people started working from home. There is this word about essential workers, non-essential workers. Not quite sure where teachers were placed if you are in a private school. But with this kind of arrangement, teachers now can have the opportunity to work while at home using the available technology that we have right now.
Awesome. I guess if I'm a teacher, I've heard these things that you're doing and they're amazing. How do I become a part of Edagogy? Where do I go? Who do I call? How do I sign up? I want to discuss my retirement. I want to grow. I want to...
Yeah, you want personal, you want a coach, you want a mentor.
How do I get these services that you're offering? Yeah.
Edagogy has a website, www.edagogyuganda, one word. and you will be able to find out many things that we are doing there.
Okay.
You will be able to get connected to a family that wants to coach students. You will be able to find someone who can coach you if you need mentorship services and coaching. But you also have the opportunity to coach a teacher, because we have this whole space that we call EDA space within that platform, where teachers are interacting, asking themselves questions. You will be able to upload work that you have developed, academic work, worksheets, assignments for students, upload there in that EDA space. Part of the reason why we are doing that is that, again, if you need something for students and you go to, to the web, most likely you're going to find a school in UK, a school in what? We don't have this thing. So Edagogy is developing a platform like that, where we have local resources that we can relate with and be able to support our people here.
Awesome.
In Uganda.
Thank you so much, Paul, for telling us about Edagogy. I'm thinking to myself, looking at what you're doing, what will success look like to you? What will impact of Edagogy look like for you to say that I think, we are achieving, or we are on the way to achieving the goal for why this was started?
I grew up knowing, and I'm not taking us back. Every time I keep going back, I think I am.
Please go back.
I think I'm becoming really old, because every time you speak in history, it means you're really old. I grew up knowing that teachers were the thing. I don't know
if it's cool to be a teacher.
Not really cool, but there was this respect that came with being a teacher. In fact, in addition to the elders in the village or in the community, if you needed some sort of advice or you needed help, they would refer you to a teacher. There was a meeting, a teacher was a secretary, this, if that. What would success look like for Edagogy? I think when teachers take their place in the community, in our society, in our country, as the biggest contributors of human capital development, when they are respected, I think that is what success will look like for me. I think of a hospital, and you get in there sick and a doctor walks in and begins to do whatever they are doing. There are usually not many people saying, you do this, you do that. As soon as you see that coat and that stuff on their necks, this guy knows what he's doing.
This guy has come to treat me.
Exactly. So success for me and for Edagogy and for the rest of the teaching fraternity, if we can just trust the teachers, that they have been trained, that they have our children's interest in their heart, that they have the heart of this country. They have the interest of this country at their heart, and we allow them to do their work. And in case we would like to modify certain things, do some changes, and honor them enough to welcome them to spaces where these changes are made,
then you'd be happy.
We will all be happy.
Thank you so much, Paul, for talking about, Edagogy and what success would look like as passionately as you have. At this point, as we begin to even wrap up, what message might you have for a teacher out there who is feeling undervalued and unheard and unnoticed, and they need some form of encouragement? How would you encourage them?
Do not, and I repeat, do not measure the service that you offer to people on the basis of how much money you have been given.
But I have needs to meet.
Yeah, I understand that. What I am saying is you have been employed in a school, you have been given a job in a government school. When you wake up to work in the morning, don't work to a level of the salary that you're being paid. Give your best. And when you give your best, I think that is where we are going to change the trajectory of how people look at teachers. Because teachers wake up, they dress the way they want, they walk into the class the way they want, they teach the way they want, and the excuse they have is that I get paid very little money. I think we would like to change this. We would like to be and do the best, give the best service, teach in the manner that will cause people to do what? To respect us. When we do that slowly and surely, we are going to change the way people look at teaching and teachers. And so respect is earned. I keep telling you that when teachers are respected, when teachers are brought, we cannot get to those spaces if we don't show that we can actually, we deserve to be there. From the way we speak, from the way we give our service to the country, from the way we challenge ourselves to grow, that's what we need. We need teachers who are saying that they will, they will find us there. Respect will find me there. A good salary will find me there. All these things will find me there. It's sort of...
It starts with us.
The biblical thing of being faithful with
the little
small matters. Eventually, if you're faithful with small things, big things will come asking themselves to be done by you.
What I'm hearing is it needs to start with them.
Yeah.
Making small shifts so that they can get seen, heard, and trusted much more. All right. As we conclude finally, what keeps you hopeful about the future of education?
That's a good one.
All is said and done, things are the way they are. Is there anything that keeps you hopeful?
Oh, wow. I'm thinking about that.
You're thinking about it.
In what sense?
This our profession. There are many things that might not be going right, but I imagine there's hope.
There is.
And what is that for, Paul?
I think education plays a very critical role in the development of any country. And if we keep drumming, if we keep singing the song that we are singing, if we keep our voices, if we begin to speak to people that matter, if we come together as educators and we form not a riot, not anything, because we are professional people.
Yes.
I think because of the role that education does play in just about any country, there'll be people who are willing to listen, because we cannot replace education. We can only think about how best we can do it. And of course, from the introduction, you did say, you cannot fix education without fixing a teacher.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
So yes, there is hope. There is hope. There are young people. Now, education is no longer a fallback position. Education now, in Uganda now we are saying you should have at least a first degree for you to join the classes. I mean, join the profession. Requirements for people to become teachers. they are becoming more professional. They're inviting people that are, for lack of better word, serious. They're beginning to come in this country. International schools are mushrooming, and those people are serious about how teachers should be treated. It's attracting a different group of parents that care about the future of their children. And I think the shift is there. It's beginning to happen. It is slow, but before we know it, education and teaching will be the place where people are going to run to.
Yay!
Yes.
I look forward to that time where a profession is treated as it should be. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Paul. It's been nice having you and just listening to you sharing your heartbeat about the teacher and your amazing stories.
Thank you for having me, Flavia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. To the teachers out there, I think one of the things that I live with is it starts with us. If we're going to get the voice, if we're going to get the attention that we need to be the ones to make the shifts first. Be faithful with what we have, show up right, speak right, be diligent, and then we can seek to have the audience of those that give us leadership. We hope that we can eventually have the voice that we seek to have. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for us, this episode of the Teacher Podcast. I hope you are blessed by it. If there's anyone that you'd like to be hosted on the Teacher Podcast, someone that you'd like to hear from, please feel free to drop their name in the comment section. We shall reach out to them and we shall host them on the Teacher Podcast. But also, if you do want to be the one that does not miss an episode, please subscribe so that you do not miss one when we release one. Otherwise, it has been Teacher Flavia, your host, and this is the Teacher Podcast, where we motivate, inspire, and equip teachers to thrive and not just survive. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.